yourself.
Righto legends, we're in the workshop today. We've got a Ram 3500 here, big truck. You know what they say about people with big trucks? Big canopy. So we've got a GTU on this one. We won't waste another second. Let's get into it. Righto, so starting up the front, we've got the big Ram 3500 grille with the factory bar on it. It looks killer. The Ram owners seem to love it, this look. So we haven't done anything too much up the front. We've of course gone the Method racing wheels with a 35-inch Toyo. It's a 35 by 12.5 on an 18-inch rim. I'd say the Toyo RTs are a great tyre. I think I mentioned it in one of my previous videos as well. I personally recommend them. For the Rams, and especially the 3500, there's not a lot in terms of suspension that we need to upgrade. We do in the rear actually increase the rear leaf pack. We pull it out, we send it off, we get an extra leaf put in. And we also throw a set of Boss Air triple bellows in there as well, just to help with the load carrying. But in terms of accessories and carrying the load and all that sort of stuff, these things have a massive GVM as standard, so there's no dramas with one of our canopies. So up top as well, in terms of accessories, we've gone the Rhino rack, Pioneer rack with the backbone. It's their new 6 Series platform, and of course the steady ST 3K 41-inch light bar under there. The 35 and 2500s do have that shark fin aerial up the front, so it's a little bit tricky to put a light bar in front, but that ST 3K fits under there nicely. We also have another option with our Ram roof racks to do a 3 light bar setup, so it's a 21 and I think it's 2 12 inches off to the side as well. So plenty of options. Speak to the sales team and we'll be able to get the right option for you. We've also gone the GME UHF again in this one, the XRS Connect, with the AE4704B aerial. Once again, a 2.1 dBi gain for a good all-round sort of coverage in all sorts of terrain, and that's just mounted to a Rhino rack fold-down bracket. Righto, around the driver's side of the GTU Canopy, of course, on a Ram 3500, we've got the front and rear under tray toolboxes, 2 large storage compartments in there, central locked as standard with the whale tails there. The rear compartment on this one, another popular option with our GTUs, is that fixed gas system. We do it properly, we mount the bottle in there, it's a 2 kilo gas cylinder, we run the regulator, we get a gas plumber to come out and sign it off. You get an external gas bayonet on the outside of that box as well. Obviously in this box, the central locking is removed for legal purposes. So that's the only compartment that doesn't have central locking as standard. It all runs through the factory key fob, so everything's all nice and secure when you walk away from the truck. Into the big girl. Let's have a look. So in the driver's side of a GTU, our standard layout is your 3 drawers typically, and the SmartTech hot water system. Now this customer opted for the SmartTech Black unit, which is an upgrade. I believe they come with a 6 litre per minute pump, and it's a slightly larger hot water system as well. He's also opted to go the Engel drawer fridge, another super popular upgrade. I personally recommend the Engel. I used it a lot of time when I was on my travels as a bait fridge and also as a really cold beer fridge, aside from the standard upright fridge on the other side. On our switch panel here, we've got our internal lights switch, and we've also got our air compressor switch here as well. We've got a USB and USB Type-C port, and also a accessory 12-volt outlet. On top of the drawers on this side here, we've got the Brass Monkey ice machine, a great little unit to keep those drinks nice and cold. Also an upgrade is the camp table storage as well. A neat little one here, just a quick little clip of the buckle, and it folds out, just a little marquee table. So it's nice and easy to use. It's one of those things that you always need to get out first when you get to camp. And it's just nice and easy to put up, away, and also get out as well. A standard feature on all of our canopies is the 9-metre air hose reel with the ARB twin compressor behind it as well. The 9 metres is enough to do all the tyres on this Ram, as well as a dual axle caravan as well. That's why we've gone for that hose reel. It's powered by that ARB twin compressor, so it runs 100% duty cycle. It's not going to cut out on you when it gets too hot. It is mounted in behind the fridge surround there, nice and protected, but well ventilated as well. 2 large storage drawers, like I said, is a standard sort of layout for the GTU on this side. We've just loaded it full of the customer's gear and extras and all that sort of stuff that are included in the canopy. So with every build, we obviously give you all the hoses and everything like that for the Smart Tech unit to hook it up, to hook up all the gas fittings. We give you the bayonet connection, all that sort of stuff as well. So you don't be driving out of here and be kicking yourself because you don't have something as simple as a hose to connect your hot water system. That pretty much covers the driver's side layout here. Another little feature as well, which I do really admire, is our door mercury switch as well. So as you close the door, the light internally will switch off. So you're not having to worry about flick all the switches, and if you forget one, when you close the door, that light's gonna cut off and not drain your battery. Let out the beast. Let 'em out. Around the rear of this Ram as well, once again, we're not leaving anything unfinished here, so we've gone the whole hog. The customer's got a caravan which is towing as well, part-time, so he can ditch the van and live out of the canopy as well. But for when he is towing the van, we've gone the upgraded Anderson plugs there, so he's red for ESC and Anderson for charging his van batteries. We've also powered up an extra 2 pins in the 12-pin socket there, and then also his other trailer components and everything we've reintegrated into that number plate bracket there. On the rear clip, we've gone the factory parking sensors. They all come back up into here on all models that come standard with them, and also the rear reverse camera as well. That's included in your canopy package price as well, so rear sensors and reverse camera, if your vehicle has it, don't worry, because we do reintegrate that into the canopy, which I know a lot of you do ask. Our traditional signature 3-lamp design on our rear clip as well, so we've got our 2 stop tails and then also our reverse light on the inner, and then our trundle drawer as well, another standard across all of our canopies. One option that isn't a standard option is the trundle drawer lid here as well. So good little workbench, makes a good little spot for the Weber Q and that sort of stuff. In my opinion, it also makes a great bar top as well. Keeping with the back wall, we've gone the dual spare tyre carriers on the back. We're still waiting on one more rim so we can get that fitted up. And then of course the Nomad rear ladder as well, over the back as well. Super popular for all of yous with a rooftop tent. It's not called our Nomad rear ladder for no reason. It really is super easy and safe. All of our tread plates are nice and flat, and we've got a 15-degree rake that whole way from top to bottom, and that first tread plate isn't 10 meters up in the air. It's nice and easy to get onto, and then just climb up with one hand, no matter how old you are. Of course, at the top of the ladder as well, we've got our swing up grab handle, just so you've got something to grab onto when you're going into the tent, especially on those long nights when you're trying to get into tent after a few beers and that sort of stuff. You need to sort of stabilize yourself, so we've thought of everything. We've got the rear work lights and also the LED strips as well in the Nomad ladder. It just helps. You can turn all the lights off, flick these ones on, climb up, and then you can flick the lights off when you're up in the bed, and it's nice and safe. In the Bundutop, you've also got that internal light, so you're never going to be trying to get in or out of bed in the dark. Pack up of the ladders, just as simple as setting up. We're just swinging that top section, release our lever, and then it's just a couple of bungee straps which hold it into place. 4 on each side, and that's it done. So a really handy ladder. I don't know of anyone else on the market offering something like this, and it is super popular. About 90% of our builds now are getting this ladder. So that pretty much covers everything here on the back wall, which there is quite a bit going on here, but there's still more to see. So we'll wander around to the passenger side here and look at the living HQ. Right, so yeah, around the living HQ side or the passenger side of the canopy, we've got our two under tray toolboxes. In the front box on this side is where we house our fuel filler and also our AdBlue. We reintegrate that back into the under tray box, but you still get two large storage compartments here, front and rear. Both of these are of course central locked, as I mentioned earlier as well. All right, before we get into the passenger side canopy layout as well, the first thing you do, you've just got to camp. Now in the real world, this would definitely be a stubby after I've just gotten out of the car, but for the video purposes, we're going to coffee because it is early in the morning. But you've just pulled up to camp, you need to set up your rooftop tent. Our Sparkies are pretty intelligent. We've got a wireless remote, so setting up the electric Bundutop, super easy to do. Coffee and a beer in hand, and just sit back and watch the magic happen. And that's it. Camp's ready to go. Setting camp up is really that easy. Guys, the bushwhacker awning is just as easy to set up and pack down as well. We won't open it today, but we have got other videos on the channel as well, which I encourage you guys to go and watch. Don't get too sick of listening to myself, Jimbo, and a couple of the other boys rambling on. But we do open up the bushwhacker awnings. We carry these in stock. They're a left-hand side extreme darkness. I've got the rear D-zip, so you can get into the rooftop tent and all that sort of stuff. There's 4 internal lights, little dimmer switch. They really are a great awning. Plenty in stock in store at the moment, so come on down and pick one up. Doesn't have to be on a canopy. We do installations and all that sort of stuff on site as well. So the bushwhacker awning is a great addition and a standard feature across our range of canopies.
I look good, yeah, you know I look good. Looking good, yeah, I'm good. I look good, yeah, you know I look good. Looking good, yeah, I'm good. I look good, yeah, you know I look good. Looking good, yeah, I'm good. I look good, yeah, you know I look good. Looking good, yeah, I'm good.
Into where all the action happens. So on this model, guys, is as standard. We've got our new switch panel and everything like that, which is typically off to the front side of the fridge there with our new NRX range. This customer's opted for the Enerdrive C-Zone unit. So it's a separate switching unit that basically everything's all controlled through this one touch panel, and you don't see any other switches or fuses or anything like that. It's all done through, I guess, the brains of the unit, which is a unit mounted behind this sort of kitchen setup here. So you can still access it by pulling the drawer out and pulling this sort of section out and access the switch panel, but everything is controlled through this panel, which is pretty handy. So moving on from the switching side of things, obviously you can see we've got an air fryer here and also the coffee machine as well. So I'll get straight into that section. It's obviously on our 2-part pull-out bench top, with the second section being our induction hot plate as well. So guys, this really is the kitchen away from home. This, in conjunction with our GTU kitchen, of course, as you know, which we'll open up in a minute, makes heaps of bench space, heaps of room. You can do your cooking here. You've got air fryer and coffee machine, and also the milk frother around the corner as well. So there's no excuse for yourself, the misso, the kids, all that sort of stuff to go out and enjoy the bush and sort of get away from it all. In our center stack, the switch panel's on the front drawer face here, but it doesn't actually take up or remove the ability to have this drawer. We run like a cable cat track system underneath here, so none of the cables will get caught, and just a bit of, I guess, conduit to hide the cable in the drawer. So you've still got a really large compartment in there for all sorts of things, plates, bowls, cups of food and that sort of stuff. And then another 2 drawers just as deep in terms of in depth and also in height as well. Up the top, which is a standard cubby for our GTU, we've recently changed the lock, so we've got a locking tab on it now, and the 2 hinges that hold it up, and then another 2 large storage compartments up the top there as well. I guess for more of the longer term things that you might not need to get to on a bigger truck like this. Not too bad for me because I'm a bit taller and I can get into it, but I know some of you might struggle getting into the back of those cupboards. It is pretty deep, but handy long-term sort of storage up there. We run our inverter switch panel up here. So that's our control to basically switch the inverter on and power up all the GPO sockets also providing power to our coffee machine and air fryer and that sort of stuff. Our Fusion head unit, which is standard across the range from GTU and GTX models only. And also our top degree water counter as well, which is going to count down all the water that you're using. So on a Ram, on a US large canopy, we're looking at two 80-litre roto-molded poly tanks, which sit underneath the chassis, or underneath the canopy subframe, sorry, in front of the trundle drawer. So you're not losing room underneath the canopy or anything like that. That we can integrate 160 litres of water on these US trucks and still have a reasonable sized trundle drawer at the back as well. So that top degree is just going to give you an indication on how much water you've got left. We always try and set it for a little bit less than what's actually in there, just in case you run out. The Dometic CRX fridge, the 140 litre of course, in the US trucks and 79 series. We've got the 3 compartments there, the 2 crisper drawers down the bottom, and also the freezer compartment up the top. And 3 smaller door cubbies here as well. Easy control panel on the side to temperature and power and all that sort of stuff. Don't forget guys, with our Dometic CRX range as well, we've also got a range of fridge stickers. We've got our bucket list, our beer safe and Wester's Best fridge stickers, guys, all in store and on the web as well, so check them out. Just beside the fridge, a sneaky little feature. Some of you who have had a lithium battery before know that once that battery voltage drops, or once the state of charge gets below sort of 20%, the battery will maintain its voltage and then just drop and die. Everything will power off, and the only sign that something will be wrong is obviously nothing will be working. The only way to, I guess, get that lithium battery to charge again is you have to trick the charger to think that it's something there. So we do what's called a battery re-excite button up that corner. It's just a momentary switch. So you want to start the vehicle, press and hold that for a couple of seconds. It'll basically send a current to the second battery from the main and pretty much trick the Canopy's DC charger into firing up and then taking over charge of the battery. So just a little trick for you. That's something that we integrate with all of our builds because we know how painful it can be when a lithium battery dies. All right, in the GTU kitchen pantry, no locking tabs or anything like that. Holding it in place is just a heavy duty gas strap with a limit strap on the back as well. So you just pull it out. It is pretty stiff at first, you do get used to it, and pushing it away is just as easy. On the front, we've got our cutlery drawer. We give you 4 little cutlery dividers so you can put them in and place wherever you want, and a little bolt pack as well. And there's a little LED light inside there as well to help see what you're doing. Obviously, our drop down tables as well, and another storage compartment up there. So there is really heaps of storage on this kitchen, and even the whole GTU setup. It really is the home away from home. You can put anything and everything in here. You've got plenty of plates for all the groceries for a couple of weeks away. The only limitation is most likely going to be water, because food is not going to be a problem. We've got a little spice rack up the top here, and then yeah, so obviously that push cabinet up there, all with LED lights in each compartment so you can easily see what you're doing. And around the rear of the GTU kitchen, another fold down table. This one houses our mixer tap. And also our removable chopping board as well, which just goes in there, and the collapsible sink, which can drop into that compartment as well. So we've got a hot cold mixer. That's part of the reason why we do a water pump as standard, and also the hot water system. So when you do have it all plumbed up for those longer trips, you've got hot and cold water on demand. Another great feature as well on our GTU kitchens, as well as our GTX models, which is standard, is the Travel Buddy marine oven. Now, it's the larger of the Travel Buddy ovens. They do a smaller one, but we use the marine. You can put all sorts of things in here, guys, not just pies and sausage rolls. Even those little frozen pizza slices and all that sort of stuff, they make a great little road snack. But the next level up from that, you can do things like dampers and meatloafs and all that sort of stuff. There's a heap of different meals and stuff. You can check out some of our other videos where Jimmy goes into some of the meals that he's cooked in it on the road as well. So pretty handy. There's also a little Facebook group and all that sort of stuff, a Travel Buddy recipes or something like that. And they're always posting new ideas and all that sort of stuff in there. So they really are a good little oven. Pack up of the GTU kitchen, just as easy as the setup. Just swing the 2 tables, drop the pins back in, checking both sides are closed and you don't have your water tap still hanging out the bottom. And then it's just a simple push in. The gas strut will take over, and gently close that kitchen. And then that's really that simple. You can close the doors, jump in the car and hit the road. Guys, that pretty much wraps up the GTU sort of setup on this driver's side, on the passenger side, sorry, of the Canopy. If you have any questions or anything like that, drop a comment below. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications as well. Make sure you're also checking out our social medias and website and all that sort of stuff, guys. There's lots of information on the website. In our builds, you can check out all the recent builds that we've done, a full build description right up, and photos and all that sort of stuff. It just helps you guys get a bit of inspiration and know what you're looking for, so that when you contact us the sales team, we can identify, I guess, what you're actually chasing, what you like, and then it really helps with that sort of quoting process. However, if you are unsure and the web's not your thing and you're more of a touch and feel kind of person like me, come down to the store. Myself and the rest of the team will be more than happy to give you a hand. Righto, I hope you enjoyed this video. Another Ram 3500 build with the GTU, of course, packed with features. The air fryer and the coffee machine and everything really makes this thing a true liverboard. So ditch the caravan, you've just live out of the Canopy. That's what it's designed for, guys. Righto guys, make sure you check out our other videos on the channel as well. We've got our recent builds here and more Ram videos down there. We hope to see you next time.